Go ahead, go in. Go, push, come on. Come on, push. Come on, man. We're almost there. Come on, push. Stop.
Welcome back. But if you're new, I'm Alice.
And I'm Larry.
And we're Downsizing Makes Sense Like the Penny. We are 50-something empty nesters that moved full-time into this Grand Design fifth wheel mid-February with our 2 pups.
This is our broken slide story. We're going to go over what happened, how we got it fixed, the heroes and the zeros. We bought our Grand Design Solitude 310 GK in August of 2019, and we got it from Gander RV in St. Augustine. Now, when we got it, it was 2 years old. It's a 2017. It was way out of warranty. It was over a year out of warranty at the time. So the warranty was kind of an issue with us and something we were thinking about. So we looked around and did a lot of YouTube searching and stuff, and we eventually decided to get a warranty with wholesale warranties. Now, the big reason we got the warranty is because we're worried about the big items, slides, air conditioners, and refrigerators, things like that. All the little things I can fix myself. So that's why we ended up getting our warranty from wholesale warranties. Now, we were preparing to go on a week-long trip to Silver Springs, which is about an hour away. And we're going through our normal hitching procedure. We have a list. We did a video on that. And part of our procedure is Alice activates the slide switches. Then I go outside and make sure the slides are coming in correctly. And so if I hear something, I yell, stop. And if she hears something, she just stops doing it. And what happened? So
I'm pushing the button and I hear like a click, click kind of pop sound. It reminds me of something where it goes off its rails.
Now this is a bedroom slide that has the Schwintek system. And the Schwintek system has a motor on top on each side. And then there's a rod that goes down to the bottom rail that drives the gear on the bottom rail. So there's a motor on each side and that drives each side. What happened is the motor on the rear side just wasn't doing it. This side was coming in and out fine. It would get to about a 20 or 30 degree angle and then stop working.
Crooked.
So, we tried everything we could. So we got it to the point where it was about a foot from being completely in. And after watching some more videos, we figured out we put it in manual override mode. And then we backed the truck up. And then my son Joe and I got up to where we could push on the slide. Alice activated the slide with the switch to move the slide on the side that was working, and then we just pushed as hard as we could on the non-working side to make sure it would go in. Now, you have to make sure you put it in manual override mode. You hit the button 6 times and hold it on the 7th time. Otherwise, it won't work. It'll lock up. So we did that. We got the slide in, and we headed off to Ocala. We figured we'll hit up a mobile tech while we're in Ocala and get it fixed while we're on our trip there. After we got to Silver Springs, the first thing we did was I called wholesale warranties. Now, I was concerned that if we didn't follow the correct procedure with wholesale warranties, that they may deny our claim or not pay it or something like that. So I called them and explained the situation. They said, no problem, call a mobile tech. The mobile tech will come out, fix it, repair it. They'll give you an invoice, and then once it's all fixed, we send the invoice in to wholesale warranties and they will pay it, which is great. So then once I figured out that procedure, we called Campers In, mobile tech service, and I think it was the next morning, a mobile tech came out. This guy was very knowledgeable and experienced. We were very satisfied with the service we got from Campers In, and he started to take apart the slide system. What he did was, first of all, he pulled out the motor and replaced it with a brand new motor. He knew what the problem was before he got there, put that motor in, and the slide worked fine. So he figured, okay. So then he took and he used the battery from his drill and powered up our motor outside the RV, and it was working. So he was like, well, let me try to put your motor back in and see what happens. He puts our motor back in and it was working.
So it's not the motor.
So he didn't think, okay, so it's not the motor. What he ended up diagnosing, what he figured had happened, is that the motor had become loose. It was a little loose when he got to it. And if the motor gets loose, it rotates. And if it rotates, it'll pull out the wire that connects it to the controller. And he figured it pulled out the controller wire, and then that's why it didn't work anymore.
So that's what he wrote on the invoice.
Right. That's what he had decided. That's what the problem was. So the other thing I asked the mobile tech before he left is, our slide has never closed completely on one side. There's about a 3/4 inch gap on one side and the other side's completely closed. And what he explained was when the slide was originally built at the factory, that it was not correctly installed, and that to fix that, they would actually have to pull the whole slide out. It said it's like a 6 to 8 hour procedure, and put it back in and get it aligned correctly. And we weren't too happy to hear that, but at least we knew what the problem was.
Yes.
Now, the day we got home from our Silver Springs trip, the first thing I did was I got on the computer and submitted my claim according to their instructions to wholesale warranties. The bill was about $280, which included labor and the mobile service tech fee. 2 days after I submitted the claim, I got an email from the company that processes the claims for wholesale warranties, and the big word denied jumped out of the page. And the reason it was said it was denied is Section M of our Elite Extended Warranty with wholesale warranties is that loosened bolts or fasteners are a reason for claim denial. Now, we were like, hey, wait a minute.
We're in an RV.
We live in an RV. Everything loosens pretty much every day.
So can they deny everything?
So we were livid. First of all, we're like, why is this claim got denied?
It was only $250.
Yeah, so we were like, okay. But then we were like, we have this warranty we spent $2,400 for. And we're like, everything can be denied because of something's loose, right? So we ended up calling wholesale warranties, and I got on the phone with Jeff Shelton eventually. He's the CEO of Wholesale Warranties. Now, let me tell you, this guy is good at his job, and what a salesman. I was on the phone with him for over an hour.
Yes.
And the reason I ended up getting to Jeff to begin with was because I had asked for a refund.
Yeah.
I guess when you ask for a refund, you go straight to the COO.
Yeah.
And he eventually did actually offer us a refund for just the warranty contract cost minus the inspection fee, but I kept complaining, and he ended up offering us a full refund, including the inspection fee. And that kind of ended that conversation until we figured out, what we're going to get fixed. I hadn't at that point decided whether or not I was going to keep or get rid of the wholesale warranty contract.
True. Okay, so now I decided to step in. I have this thing about feeling like I've been walked all over. And we know that slide repairs are very expensive. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to contact Grand Design. I'm a member of a Grand Design Facebook group. So I kind of put it out there. They said contact customer service. They're really great. And we've heard this the whole time. So what I did is I messaged them through Facebook, and I emailed both, and which made it a bit confusing. I apologize for that, Grand Design. But because of that, and I told them how we were denied the warranty and how the repair guy said it was actually, put together improperly in the first place, it was actually very quickly they got back to us. And that's when Larry stepped back in and he started talking to someone named Jay.
I think about 30 minutes after she submitted her claim for customer support at Grand Design, we got an email from Jay, and I ended up getting on the phone with Jay pretty quickly after that because he really wanted to help me figure out what exactly was wrong with the slide. So I got on my phone out here at the slide, and I'm talking to him about the situation. I mentioned that the gears were wearing really weird, like the gear marks were in the wrong place, and it was like tearing up the gear. He asked me to send him some photographs of the gears, which I did right away. And then after looking at the photographs, Jay had determined that the way that the slide mechanism was originally assembled at the factory, there's a part of it that can get assembled upside down, and he thinks that's what was causing the problem with the motor. Basically, it was putting too much pressure on the motor because the gears weren't lined up, and that the whole slide mechanism would have to be replaced at that time. So he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to contact Lippert and see if I can get Lippert to throw in a brand new slide system. We'll get Grand Design, we'll come up with the labor, and I'll get back to you. So he got back to us really quickly, sent us an email and said, hey, don't worry, guys, we got you covered. Grand Design is going to take care of all the labor. Lippert's taking care of the slide mechanism. You just find a qualified repair facility, and we'll take care of it.
So we started this YouTube channel, and we started connecting to other RVers and RV YouTubers, and we decided to go to the world's biggest RV show in Tampa, the Tampa Super Duper RV Show.
RV Super Duper Show.
And while we were there, we decided we were going to dry camp there with our RV, and there's going to be this big meetup with the roads we roam and some other YouTubers. So we were really excited to get there. So we get to the parking lot, we park the RV, and we go to open the slide that was temporarily fixed, and ding, 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 it didn't work.
It was the exact same problem. We were going through our procedure. This is our unhitching procedure where we're opening the slide this time, and only the one side was working. It got about 6 inches and then stopped working. And I was like, Alice, I can get it open. We can push it open.
No.
She's like, nope. Let's just close that side back up again. And it's just a 4-day show.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it at the show.
Yes.
Which was a lot of fun, just jumping over the bed to get to the closet.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to go to the Tampa show is I wanted to go into the Grand Design area because I looked, they were going to be there. So I wanted to see what the new 2020 looked like because we have a 2017. We go into that area and we meet up immediately with Quincy Barr, and he works for
Lazy Days in Tampa.
Yes. And I started telling him the story. He's like, oh, the big guy is going to want to talk to you. And by the big guy, we mean
Don Clark. He says
Don Clark.
he's going to want to hear this story.
Yes. And I didn't even know Don Clark was going to be there.
Right.
So we go into like the hospitality area, and there's Don Clark. And Quincy introduces us. I start to tell the story, and I'm probably going to start crying again. I start to tell the story about our slide and how the warranty was denied. And I was so happy that we picked Grand Design because we were told Grand Design would stand by their product. And he was totally on board, and it was the second to best thing that happened at the Tampa show besides the Roads We Roam meetup.
Yeah, he was really, really cool. And we're going to show you a little clip of that interaction that we had with Don Clark right now.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Alice.
Hi, Alice.
And this is Larry. And everyone talks about how great your customer service is. I'm like going to cry. You guys told us you're going to fix your slide.
And ours is 2 years old. It's used. We bought it used. And then you guys stepped up.
You said Lippert and Grand Design, we're going to take care of you. We're going to fix your slide. I'm sorry, I kept on
Yeah.
Well, you didn't buy a slide out. You bought a Grand Design.
Yes.
So
That's right, yeah.
that's the way we look at it, and we stand behind our product.
There you go, hon.
And I'll try not to cry.
So Alice and I shopped for RVs for a couple of years, and we did a lot of research. And one thing that kept jumping out at us is Grand Design had the best customer support in the industry. They were a pretty new company, and that was really important to us. So like we had actually picked Grand Design before we picked an RV. We said, we got the company. Now we're going to find the RV that we want from that company.
Yeah, and I would also see in the Facebook Grand Design Facebook group that they constantly talked about how great their customer service was.
And you know, this story to us just really solidified us that we had made the right decision in picking Grand Design, meeting Don Clark. The customer support we got was just amazing. So after the Tampa show, we had connected with La Mesa RV in Sanford. It's a reputable shop that's a Grand Design dealer. And to have the new slide mechanism installed in the agreement with Grand Design would pay the labor, Lippert was going to send them the slide mechanism. But the problem was Lippert had to actually build the slide mechanism. They just don't have those like sitting on the shelf somewhere for our 2017 Grand Design 310 GK. And at first it was going to take a couple weeks. So we had brought our RV in there, had been there for almost 2 weeks. This is getting, you know, close to where we are about to close on our house. We're about to like move out of our house on February 11th. February 5th, we still don't have it repaired. It doesn't look like the slide mechanism is going to come in anytime soon. We decided, you know what, we're going to pick the RV back up from La Mesa, bring it home, move into the RV, and then once we're all moved in, then we're going to bring it back to La Mesa to get that slide mechanism installed.
And you can see in one of our vlogs me actually like climbing over the bed because the slide wasn't working and I had no dresser. So it was all shoved in the closet. So you can see that.
Yeah, so not only do we have to jump over the bed to put the stuff in the closet and everything like that, we had to live with it for another week after we moved into it.
Full time.
Before the slide mechanism did eventually come in from Lippert. La Mesa was awesome. Now, we told La Mesa, hey, we're living in this thing full time now.
Yeah.
We can't like leave it overnight or give it to her for a week or something.
Yeah, because we heard tons of stories of people that drop off their RV and they're full time. So they're in a hotel for weeks or months, you know, and I'm like, no, we do this for us.
Yeah, so we talked to Shane, who's our service tech over at La Mesa, explained the situation. He said, no problem. I'm going to pick a day that we get you in at 8 o'clock a.m. and I will get you out the door at 5 p.m. We were like thrilled that he was going to be able to do that for us.
Yeah.
And sure enough, La Mesa delivered. They got the whole thing done in one day. So we were only out of our RV park for one day with our RV, and we were back at Wekiva Springs with our RV with the new slide mechanism working, and it was working perfectly. The gears were meshing perfectly. It was coming in and out perfectly.
No problems.
There wasn't any gap on one side anymore. It was perfectly lined up. We were super happy to be at the end of this slide drama.
Yes.
Now, in our slide story, Grand Design, Lippert, and La Mesa are our heroes and really came through for us. The wholesale warranties story is not over yet. We are giving them another chance. I decided to keep a warranty with wholesale warranties after speaking with Jeff. And when we have another big repair, we'll put that warranty to the test. And we're really hoping that wholesale warranties comes through for us.
Yes.
Now, wholesale warranties did eventually pay our entire claim for that mobile tech fee while we were in Ocala. It was $280, and they didn't even deduct my $100 deductible, which is in my contract. And the reason they said that they had did that was just for good faith. Even though our claim did not meet the criteria because of Section M and the loosened fasteners, they were in good faith going to take care of us.
Yeah.
Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. We really, it was a lot of work sharing our story here about this slide mechanism breaking and going through all the drama that we went through.
But we really wanted to give a shout out to Grand Design, Lippert, and La Mesa.
They really came through for us, and we wanted to share our experience. Part of the reasons we started this channel is to share stories like this. It's really important to us. But we would really love to hear from everybody else in the comments that's had a similar story. Have you had a slide break? You know, how did it go? Well, what's that story? Did you? What's your experience with Schwintek slide mechanisms? Do you have an RV company that really stepped up for you besides Grand Design?
Yeah, is there another company?
Right.
'Cause,
We really like to hear all those stories in the comments. Please share it with us and the other viewers. It's really important to us. And thanks for watching this. And if you like this video and you want to see some more things like it, please consider subscribing down over here. And we're going to put a playlist back down over here. We really appreciate you checking out some more of our videos. We really love doing this and sharing our stories with everybody out there. So remember,
downsizing does make sense.